Hi, I'm Jim McCaffrey.
Hi.
I'll be reading selections from my self-help blog, Gems for Your Mind Heart. What are your vampire bats? Last night I watched Dirty Jobs on the Discovery Channel. The host ventured with researchers into a famous bat cave outside Austin, Texas, home to millions of bats. They had to put on waders just to walk through all the guano. It was extremely dark in that cave, and it goes without saying, though I'll say it anyway, bats love the dark. It made me think of how often we enjoy being in the dark. We have sex in the dark. We sleep in the dark. The dark is good. In the dark, we can't see our problems and we think things are great. But you know who else likes the dark? That's right, vampire bats. They can see in the dark, and they can see you. They swoop in on you, attach themselves, and suck your blood, your very lifeblood, from you, draining you until you can't stand under your own power. Then you fall face first in the guano, and you don't even know why. Why? Because it's dark, and you can't see all the vampire bats clinging to you like furry winged leeches with wings, draining you of the blood. The blood is the life. But you don't turn into a vampire. Oh no, you just die and decompose in the guano. But here I am, shining a light into your cave to guide you out. And at first you're horrified to see all those bats clinging to you, and you get mad at me, for showing you your vampire bats and demand that I turn off the light. And you even come to regard your bats as cute and endearing, like your penchant for nibbling off other people's plates. And you don't want them to leave. You want me to leave. Instead, I drag you kicking and screaming into the light. And you try to run back, I tackle you. I tie you to a tree outside. You hate me, curse me, threaten to call the police, but wait. Where did the bats go? They flew, shrieking from the light, back into their cave. So yes, we may like to be in the dark when it comes to our problems, but the dark is dangerous because of the vampire bats. And we all have vampire bats in our life, draining us of our precious lifeblood and our very souls. Here are some common ones: spouse, work, family, friends, religion, co-workers, roommates, the homeless, co-workers, bill collectors, supervisors, crossing guards, policemen, firemen, elevator repairmen, women, men, children, pets, stop signs, jury duty, and yard work. What are your vampire bats? Thank you. I have to look at my iPhone for the next one because of printer issues. What a marvelous age we live in. For many years, I tried to use humor to win friends, attract women, and make money. However, one day when I hit rock bottom, I realized I had no friends, no women, and no money. And a light bulb went on. I realized that my humor was a wall that kept people and real feelings out. Heartbreak blocked, disappointment shielded. But I also blocked the arrows of love, joy, and happiness. All kept out, I realized, to avoid life's roller coaster of emotions. But what I realized was that while the ups and downs were less high and less low, my roller coaster was now a straight line. It was a spiritual lithium, in addition to the chemical lithium I was taking. But I've torn down the wall, which I call the Great Wall of Funny. And you know what? I've experienced highs and lows I never have before. Sometimes I'll have a spontaneous, cleansing, sobbing jag at work. And sometimes I'll just streak along a major thoroughfare for no reason. My date that night still has to tear down her great wall of embarrassment and indignation. And I hear voices. I hear voices I never heard before. Beautiful, joyful, crying, angry voices. I call them the Mongol hordes of feeling. They tell me to cry when I'm sad and hit when I'm angry, but never laugh where the wall goes right back up again. And I realized nothing is funny. Comedy is someone else's misfortune and pain, and just thinking about "Dude, where's my car?" makes me want to cry. Laughter is just plain wrong. So tear down your great wall and let those hordes in. Let them pillage and wreak havoc on your psyche. Oh, the places you'll black out and go. happiness is. Many people have asked that age-old question, what is happiness? And the follow-up questions, why aren't I happy? How do I get some happiness? How do I get more happiness? How do I take your happiness? What do I do with all this happiness? Well, there are many answers. Some actually useful. Most are metaphors. One is that happiness is a choice that you make. And if you're unhappy, then that's a choice you made. Another is that happiness depends on you grabbing it moment by moment, like snatching dollar bills around in one of those fan-powered game show booths with spectators all around watching you, some rooting for you, most hating you for all the happiness bucks you've grabbed, but most laughing at your vain attempts to grab happiness and clapping with glee at your inevitable, comical failure. Where was I going with this? Oh yes, no matter what your view of happiness, if you're not happy, you chose it, or if you're not quick enough to grab it. Either way, it's your fault. And doesn't that make you happy? And I've got one more. When do you stop swinging? This is a true story. A long time ago, when I was a kid, I was on a really good Little League team. During one game, we had a really good inning at bat, and I went up to the plate for the first time and struck out. However, I was inspired by our success and was determined to get a hit if I got up to bat again. And I went up to the plate again, and I hit a foul ball and another, and 2 strikes. Finally, I went down swinging. Amazingly, we went around the lineup a third time. We didn't have the 9 batter per inning rule then, and I got to bat again. And the inning ended. And after the game, I realized that I made every single out in the inning. So how many lessons can we learn here? Exactly 2. 1, everyone has a part to play, even if that part sucks. Like mopping up after a kid's puke, or striking out 3 times in 1 inning, so that the game can continue. I mean, if I hadn't struck out, no one would have, and we'd still be at bat right now. None of us could get jobs or start families unless we conceive children behind the dugouts. And so that's a positive, right? And 2, eventually you'll realize, as I did, that baseball is the one that sucks, not me. Boring, stupid game anyway. Who needs it? So kids, keep swinging. Eventually you'll strike out, and out, and out. Thank you. I'm Jim McCaffrey.